Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're Tristan and Helen, and we've been living in our self-built camper van for over 18 months now, spending the last few months in Romania. Well, in this episode, we're telling you a story of when van life does not go to plan. That's not good. That is a piece of the engine right there.
That's fully snapped off, Tristan.
Right. Well, we have officially broken down in Romania because that's not supposed to be outside this engine bay.
Oh dear.
So we came out of the supermarket yesterday ready to enter the Schengen Zone on our road trip to Slovakia, and I turned on the engine and I heard a funny noise and I didn't know what it was, so I came out here, I opened the bonnet, I checked it and saw that this was on the floor. And because this is like a tensioner for a belt system around the engine, we don't actually think we can drive it at all. So we are actually staying in this supermarket car park, and I don't know how long we're going to be staying here for. In 48 hours in a Kaufland supermarket.
Might be longer than 48.
Boy, it's going to be. I did go into the supermarket yesterday and double check that we can stay here. My van's broken down in the car park. Just wondering if I can stay in the car park in my van, just in the middle of the car park. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. So in desperation last night, I actually walked around the car park, literally asking people as they were unpacking their shopping. Hi. Do you know any mechanics? And luckily, this family were like so helpful. And when he came over to have a look and he looked at this and looked down in the engine bay, he was like, yeah, big problem. We are literally in the middle of this town in the supermarket car park, and I can't quite believe it, but it's happening, and we're just gonna have to live with it. I'm not sure how long we're actually gonna be living here, but you know, things could be worse. So as you can see, we are no longer in the Kaufland car park right now. We're actually all the way up in Germany, and it's been a few weeks since we actually broke down in that Romanian car park.
We weren't sure whether we were going to share this kind of experience, but we've kind of thought about it and we thought it was important to actually share the realistic side of van life as well, not just the great times when we're out exploring new places and countries, but what can happen. I think van life can be a bit romanticized and it all looks really dreamy and beautiful park ups, and it is like that sometimes, but it's not always perfect. And if you are thinking about doing it, I think it's important to also know what could happen and to go in it with a clear understanding of the realistic side. So that was kind of why we wanted to share this video and make something a little bit different.
Now, looking back at it, it's definitely something that we're going to reflect on a little bit more as we go through this video. We have sat here for over 24 hours, and it's I guess the novelty of car park van life is wearing off. We have fitted a blind though. I mean, check this out. So we've just temporarily put it up so we have a bit of privacy in this car park, because we have to have the window open. It's so damn hot, but with the window open and everyone parking and unloading their shopping, yeah, they can see straight into our van. It kind of feels like we're in a bit of a greenhouse right now. Shit, is that a parking ticket?
Van life, reality, fucking everywhere.
So looking back at that experience now, sitting in a car park for over 3 days did take its toll on us, like mentally and physically. We love to be outdoors and we love to be exploring somewhere new. Of course, we could have got out of our van and walked away, but we didn't feel that comfortable leaving the van. So we were doing individual trips to the supermarket and trying to keep our morale high by just having some fun and trying to pass the time basically.
We've been here so long. Look at this camera. Oh God.
I'm getting hungry now. I've been sitting in the supermarket on my own. Can't forget you in the trolley. Seeing as this could be one of our last days in Romania, we're going to go back and have all the foods that we tried when we first came here.
Moist.
Including the aubergine dip. Right, well, it's way over 24 hours. We're settling down for our second evening in the car park, and we are going to get an early night. It's been a humbling experience, this. Van life isn't always sunshine. It isn't always smiles. Shit happens. Monday morning. We are getting a bit tired of living in the car park, so today's the day. I'm going to the garage and hopefully we'll have some answers in a minute. When roughly do you think it could be fixed?
I'm not sure. So I think that means for him today or tomorrow.
So, pretty good news. We are going to have it fixed tomorrow, and it's going to cost us around 250 euros. So, yeah, not great, but it is what it is. Now I'm just going to walk back to the van, because I am starving.
So yeah, looking back, it was such a relief to hear that the van could be fixed. Obviously it did come with a bit of a cost of around 250 euros, which obviously isn't cheap, but it could have been worse. Our breakdowns last year cost a lot more. But what we did last year when we embarked on van life is we actually had a van life kind of saving fund in our Monzo account. So kind of having an emergency pot of money is really helpful, and I'd completely advise doing that if you're thinking about doing van life. And one fun thing about living in a supermarket car park is all the people watching you can do. Especially when you have like 360 windows, we do feel a bit like we're in a little glass dome. We've got someone right there.
Yesterday was the funniest thing. When I opened the door, there was just someone standing there. Like,
what have you made?
today I've made mango. Well, I've cut up a mango. I haven't made anything, but I'm going to combine yogurt with mango with granola. It is vegan yogurt, of course.
Because otherwise Tristan gets that.
Nice bit of diesel whiff through the window.
Let's get some tinfoil on that, but our tinfoil comes with fuckery. How does this even happen?
Oh.
Fuck. I think looking back, it was quite hard to fully express how we were both feeling in the moment, especially the days while we were just waiting for the garage to open. We didn't really film that much of how we were feeling because we weren't sure if we were even going to share this video, and if we were, then we didn't want to seem like we were being really moany, because there's obviously so many more worst case scenarios that could happen with van life or life in general. But at the same time, we had no idea what the part was, what was broken, how much it would cost, how long it would take. I guess we were just more like anxious about what could be, because we didn't know. It was like all unknown. And then as soon as we obviously knew it was going to be fixed and it wasn't too expensive, then it's like easier.
I think the best news about this is that we don't need to leave our van at the garage overnight. Unlike last year when we had not only the costs of the repairs and parts and labours, is the cost of a hotel, and those costs racked up last year. These things can happen in any van, and yeah, I think we bought the Transit because of the parts. They're so easily accessible, which means we can get that part delivered today, even though we can't get it fixed till tomorrow. Here's to another day of car park living. We have officially ticked over the 48-hour mark, broken down in this random Romanian supermarket car park. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, hopefully these guys to fix it tomorrow for us. But for now, we are going to be calling it a night and going to bed early, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be entering back into the Schengen Zone. So let's see how we get on. There's been a lot of that. Last night we didn't really sleep very well. So today could be the day that we leave this car park. Well, we're going to attempt it anyway. We're going to drop it off and hopefully be on the road. What are we going to do whilst we wait for the van?
We're going to have a look around the town, get coffee, get some lunch, and then hopefully be on the road and en route to Hungary this afternoon.
Off to the garage!
Looks pretty dreary, doesn't it?
We are here.
Oh, big truck. I'll come back in an hour. Okay, we've just dropped off Stan the van, and they told us that it's going to take 1 hour to fix. So in the meantime, coffee. Good?
So good. We had a little walk around and found this place for a bit of lunch whilst we wait for our van to be fixed. I haven't had the call just yet, but it just shows how many cute little places there are like this when you just stumble across them into some towns. Like, we would never have come to this town or restaurant if we hadn't broken down here. So if you're on your travels, it's so good just to pop into little villages and town squares and have a little walk around and support the local restaurants.
Two pizzas, 3 coffees. £13. It's not bad, is it? Thanks for your help. £250 later, or something like that, and we have an invoice. Pots look like they've been fitted. So I'm so tired.
Come on.
I'm so tired. Yeah. But before we go anywhere, we've actually got to go back to the campervan that we spent the last 3 nights at, so we can get some food and then head into Hungary. Finally. That's normal, ignore that.
Come on then.
Power steering. Back to the supermarket.
Let's take a massive
We're off.
shit. What was this place? Q Service in Kari.
If you're ever in northern Romania and you have problems with your automobiles.
Happy?
Yep.
After about 30 minutes at the Romanian-Hungarian border, we are finally back in the Schengen, which is kind of crazy because we've been out of the Schengen for over 3 months now. It was definitely a really good job that we didn't spend the whole 3 months out of the Schengen just in Romania, because there's actually a cap for most countries. Like Romania, you can only spend a total of 90 days in 180 days. So that is another thing to consider, is don't necessarily max out your time, especially when you're doing van life, because if anything does go wrong you might overstay like your time allowed. But yeah, it was really good to be back and starting this new kind of chapter, I guess.
And as we pull up to our final spot for this episode, which we found on Park for Night, it just looks like this free little camping spot by a church. Let me just back it in. There we go. Yes, this is a new chapter, chapter 2 of our journey this year as we re-entered the Schengen Zone. It feels like a new beginning. We've spent 3 months out of the Schengen and now we get to spend 3 whole months in the Schengen, and our mission for this summer is to get to the Nordkap, which officially is the most northern point in Europe, and it's actually in the Arctic Circle. So we best get some sleep tonight because tomorrow we are entering our 36th country. It's absolutely amazing to be going in and out these countries and traveling full time. So thank you for making it possible by watching our videos. This is a huge thing for us and we love sharing our travels. So please do give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already.
No way!
So that was our story of when we broke down in the middle of a Romanian supermarket.
Don't forget to join us next time on Coconuts and Camels when we venture into another new country of Slovakia.
We're starting to go stir crazy.
I might get a haircut just so that I get my hair washed. Let's go out on the town. Let's get wild.